walking down, cutting across there, and there's a nice little pick off the body. There we go, and that's found the longie, and a good little check there. And ball's down, ground ball to be won here, and the ball's out. Need a pick up there, and a great pick up by the longie. Great pick up by the longie there, and geez, and unfortunately misses the pass, and it's just skipped out of bounds. So SA will bring the ball back in from the defensive restraining line, and Dougie Brooks with the ball now. Dougie Brooks with the ball, taking on 2. Got plenty of speed there, and manages to clear that easily. And we get to see some offense from South Australia and their first offense. So Brooks kicking it up to Wood. And SA just sending a couple of subs at the moment. Off to Giannis. Just kicking the ball around. Not much off-ball movement at the moment by South Australia. Lim with the ball. Kicking it back to Rigney. To Wood. Up to Fuss. Nice little push off in the middle there to give himself some space by Rowe. Lim with the ball. And just good shorty defense there from Victoria. To Wood. To Fuss. Rigney just getting out his way there. Back to Lim, looking in that bottom corner a lot. And there's a good little check there. And the ball is loose. We have a whistle on the play for a loose ball hold. And Victoria will bring into their offense, or will have their first clear to see what Victoria does. They've got a shorty runner on the outside. And Will Olver just bringing it down and just kicking it through. Nicholas picked the ball, lost ball there. And a nice little ground ball there, and they should just bring it to space here. Sunderland with the ball. Kicks it to Backer. And Victoria just settling a little here. Giving everyone a touch. Olver, who cleared that ball really well out of defense then. Kicks it to Joseph. Griffin Nicholas with the ball. Kicking it to Rubens. Up to Backer. And just starting to kick the ball around here. Some cutters coming through the centre here. Nice cut. Beautiful cut. And just didn't quite take the ball. Just fallen over his own feet there, Lynn. And will be off South Australia for a Victorian ball. So we got Backer with the ball. Backer with the ball. There's a nice little cut there from Victoria in that opening. Just needed to catch the ball. We got a driver here down the sign. Hilario turns left, and nice little shot. Nice little shot's gone left of the cage. Didn't trouble James in the cage there, but Victoria with the backup will start with the ball again, and we've got Griffin Nicholas with the ball. Victoria moving. A lot of movement in their offense at the moment. Lots of cutters. Good defense there. Just Mitch let him go inside, and here you go. Mitch with great motor there. Great motor. Perfect by Mitch Lewis there down the field, and Rigney has the ball. Great pace there. Great pickup and moved the ball on really quickly, which allowed SA to just settle a little bit. So Wood down the back. Kicks it up to Rigney. Back down to Nathaniel Rowe. Back to Rigney. Haragianis with the ball now. Kicking to Fuss. And down the back. So Victoria with about 3 or 4 shots at the moment. SA's had one opportunity. Rigney at the top. Nice little move, but copped a little piece of the defender's long stick there, just on the crossover in front of him. And SA settling again here. Dylan Wood with the ball. Fuss setting a pick there. Wood still with the ball. And a shot that goes wide but has drawn a flag. We have a cross-check for a 1-minute penalty, so we'll get to see South Australia's man-up team and their man-up play to see what Coach Mangan has put them in. Oh, they've just given that away then. Probably just needed to relax that little bit more. And there might be a loose ball push there. Okay, so we've got it was a call of red offside there, but it was a blue offside. And SA will bring it in again. Now they've got about 40 seconds left in this man up after trying to throw the ball away early. So we're in a 1-3-2. Coach Mangan has them in. And up to Wood. There's movement in the middle there. And needs to kick the ball on the bottom corner. That, they've called that a shot. I believe that's just deflected well wide of that. I was trying to work out whether it was a shot or not. But, and there we go. And that's the back of the net. And SA with no backup in their man up, that's twice they've actually turned this ball over in their man up. But teams are even now, and Victoria will clear the ball here. So kicks it up. Victoria got that up pretty easy. SA left that side open then, and Victoria just pushing into offense with Kukaka off to Backer. To Rubens, and Victoria just settling here. Rubens likes what he sees, but drew the player, and Backer just walking in there. Defense was there wasn't much defense on that player coming down the right hand side there, and we've got the first score on the board to Victoria. Victoria now go 1-0 up, and we're about halfway through the quarter here at Glenelg Lacrosse Club. So we'll have Hamish Mathwin lining up in the middle against Will McDonald. Shay Moat with the long stick over this side against Marankovic. So Hamish Strudwick just cutting off the faster here. We've got an illegal procedure on Red there. It looks like Red stepped over the line. Or maybe in the foot on the ball. There's no call there. So we've got Victoria again with the ball. And they'll go into offense again. So kicks it down to Joseph. Joseph just working his defender out there. Kicks it up to Nicholas. Up to Rubens. Rubens likes what he sees here against Mathwin. And beautiful left-hand shot there coming off that. And just pushes it wide again. Didn't make James make a save. And Victoria will bring it in again. So Victoria really sending these cutters, and they're honouring those cutters. But a great back up there by Hamish Mathwin. Need the SA to present up the field here. Mathwin with the ball. Fasty. Rigney lining up and puts it wide again. South Australia with no backup there, and they've had the ball into attack for about 10 seconds. They probably need to hold the ball up a bit here and just get some good touches by everyone. Shots have all been wide so far. apart from one in the back of the cage, and that is the back of the cage. And Victoria will clear the ball again here. So Victoria up to Kukuka with the shorty. Rigney, good pressure there for Rigney. A nice little check there. Kicks it up to Mathwin. Mathwin picks up and just turns it over in the middle of the field. Probably want to go down the line with those rather than picking it back up. Running into Jasper. Hannah Roberts runs into two South Australian defenders there, but he's drawn a flag. So there is a flag down on this play. Great hold, another flag drawn. Shot there by Sunderland, and great little hold there by Sunderland, and took a fair bit of punishment. So we will have 2 penalties here for South Australia. So South Australia will go to a 4 zone. And we've got a hold for a 30-second hold and a 1-minute slash. So defenders, so we will have a 4 zone here. 4 longies for South Australia. Victoria starting in a 3-3 again in their man up. So we've got a 1-minute penalty and a 30-second penalty. So let's have a look what Victoria do here with this man up play. Sitting in that 3-3. Kicks it down the bottom to Nicholas. Up to Lane. Across to Harari. To Backer. Down to Joseph. Setting that double cutter here. Oh, there's a shot had there. Victoria do have backup. Wasn't a lot of quick ball movement there or foot movement with that cut. So it's back to a 5 zone now. We've got 1 extra player for South Australia on, so there's 30 seconds left in this penalty. Down to Backer, little one on the corner. Great save there by Burgess. Just stick side high, and as most players, as they come around, that's what they do. Just losing the ball there in the middle of the field, and picks up. And we've got a bit of a scrap goal there, which from through the middle, and Joseph Pagliaro picks up that one. Just has a fake, and unfortunately, just didn't clear the ball well enough there. Found the man up the field who didn't grab it, and against two Victorian defenders, quite a bit of pressure there. So we've got Dougie. Giannis on the wing here with Hausler. Nathaniel. Face-offs have both gone to Victoria so far, but the ball's down there. Lost his stick, playing without his stick. Should have been a South Australian ball there, as Coach Mangan yells out, playing without his stick. He was probably right, but anyway, Victoria have the ball, and they will settle back into offense. Score here 2-0 Victoria. Harari with the ball, kicks it down to Nicholas. And just holding the ball really well here. Has another shot. Victoria has the backup. Griffin Nicholas taking on, is that Clothier? Co-captains. Another great cut there. Victoria sending a lot of cutters here and rotating out. So they're getting a fair bit of space coming through those cutters from the top. So just kicking it out now. Kicked it to Sunderland. Down to Nicholas. Little shimmy fake, which gets him where he goes. Jimmy Burgess again going low, just getting the knees in the way. That's a better outlet pass for a clear. And Dougie Brooks just bring it into attack. SA probably need to just hold the ball here. Oh, hang on. Famous last words. Dougie Brooks has just taken that off a clear from Jimmy Burgess on a save. Done a little bit of shimmy. The last couple of times they've been in an offense like that, they've actually turned the ball over, and this time Dougie Brooks just finds the back of the net, and that will put South Australia 2-1 down with about 5 minutes to go here in the first term. Goalkeeper Blake Watson for Victoria there, just from about a 10, 12 metre shot, just didn't pick that up at all, especially stick side low for the lefty. So back to the face-off here. Victoria haven't actually lost the face-off yet. And a good voice there. Great voice there from the Victorian. We've got an illegal procedure now on red. Oh, and that he might have to get back over the line because he is actually offside as we speak. And Victoria will bring the ball in after that step over the line without possession. Called. So we've got Rubens with the ball. Rubens coming down and just puts that one well wide, but had a couple of metres or a metre and a half on Mathlan then, and was allowed to free his arm. So Victoria's certainly looking at going through the short sticks here when they get the opportunities. And a great check there. A really good check there by Joel Tilbrook. Just has lost that, and I reckon he's going to get a penalty here. I reckon there's probably a push or a cross-check. Oh, he's got a 1 minute cross-check there. So great effort from Tilbrook. Just lost the ball, but drew the foul, and South Australia will start from the centre with the ball. And South Australia will go back into attack, given that it's a 2-1 game. So a little bit of momentum, while Victoria had a fair bit of the possession here. Yeah. So Marinkovic kicking it over to Rosenthal. Out to Wood. Down to Rowe. Down to Rigney. And let's have a look at what SA's offense are doing here. So we're in a 1-3-2. Got Marinkovic in the middle, looking at something. There we go, Rowe here. Okay, so it looks like there's not much time left in this quarter. So SA will just hold the ball for the end of the first quarter. They will start with it as Victoria are still in a man-down situation. SA will start with the ball next quarter. It is 2-1, and a great start by both teams for this championship. Plenty of nerves out there from the young lads, by all of them, and I think they'll settle in this next quarter. Victoria obviously had about 75% of the possession then, and SA just threw the ball away a fair bit coming into their offence. So we looked for SA to probably hold the ball a little more than they did in that quarter when they came into offence, and see if we can match up on some of these shorty mismatches in the Victorian offence to see that they can capitalise and stop them scoring. So we'll be back at the start of the second quarter. And as I said, just repeating here, score is 2-1 Victoria against South Australia. As the break finishes for the end of the first quarter, and we're coming out of the second quarter, we'll have SA in offence, in a man-up offence for probably about 20 odd seconds, I'd say. So get to see what SA's man down offence is. So Marinkovic will start with the ball, kicks it down to Rowe. Kicking it down to Mathran. Off to Marinkovic, off to Wood. There we go to Lynn. Lynn coming off that, looking. Bottom corner's opening up here, and looking. And there's a shot here. by Mathwin. And again, Mathwin just finds the back of the net. Goalkeeper not really getting down there. I mean, his left-hander offside, but just managed to some outside shooting at the moment. And the outside shots are the ones that seem to be getting past the Victorian keeper. It is. Little wave there from Mitch Lewis to his fans on the boundary here. Just having a bit of a, how are we going? So Douglas Brooks here against Jackson Marsh. As I said, Victoria have won every face-off so far. Let's see if South Australia can turn the tide here. So plenty of work being done there, and Victorian Marsh wins the ball. It's in the back of his stick here. He gets it out, and that's what happens sometimes when they get stuck in the back of the stick. Don't come out real well. Made it really difficult for his Victorian teammate to get that, and there's a as he runs the ball out quite easily there, and SA will go back into an offense. Given what we've seen so far, I think the ball from the outside will be the one that is trolling the Victorian keeper at the moment, lefty. So up to Giannis to Brooks down to Rowe. Rowe just coming off that pick, setting up here. Giannis likes what he sees with the shorty, and probably needed Rowe to be out the way then, to be honest. Looking at coming down that right pipe, but Rowe was stuck in his way. Nice little shimmy again. Defensively, look, great hold. The shots had, and Dylan Wood will get the back up there, but we've got a flag on the play here. Looks like it might be a 1 minute slash there for the Victorian number 8. And that is Will Olver, who'll sit down for a minute, and we'll get to see South Australia's man up play again. They're currently in a 1-3-2. Moving the ball on. Rigney at the back there. Kicking it to Connor Tape now. Back Connor Tape into the man up. Up to Rosenthal. Rigney with the ball. Kicking it to Nathaniel Rowe. Movement happening on the backside here. And we look like we've got a wheel coming here. And there's another outside shot there, which has troubled the Victorian keeper. Great pickup by Tape. Great save there from the keeper. Just stayed high. And most of those shots coming off those decks are actually coming up. So we've got Liam Harari just being held up there by Connor Tape and just kicks it over the halfway line. And Victoria will bring it into their offense. Bigger than you. So Victoria kicking in, and as I've just been joined in the sunshine here by Mr. Luke Keesing. Welcome, Luke, just into the Australian team for the second time. You must be really excited about that.
Yeah, it's awesome. Stoked to go to Israel. It's a interesting place, I suppose, for a World Cup, but yeah, be a pretty good experience, I think. Can't wait.
Yeah, they did. The one thing that I have been speaking to people about Israel, they reckon the beaches over there are absolutely beautiful. So could be some good recovery spots over there to go and just recover. Hopefully no 1 o'clock in the morning finishes against Iroquois this year, or thunderstorms, or hopefully there's no tide. And as we have a shot there, which goes wide, but Victoria have the backup. So what's between now and then, mate? Nationals or any more camps or with the Aussies?
Yeah, we've probably got the 2018 Nationals, which will be in June in Perth, and then sorry, just seen that ball get knocked down as Victoria try to chase it out to the halfway line. Yeah, probably the Nationals in June, and then probably have a camp after that as well. At least one squad camp all as a team before we get off to Israel. So should be good.
Yeah, look, having a look at the side, it looks like a nice strong side, and good to see Nigel Morton back in there as co-captain. So one of your teammates at Glenelg must be really excited to be playing with Nigel again, and obviously worked hard. And as said, he didn't actually play much lacrosse last year with a bit of a sore back and a knee, and so he's worked really hard. Obviously, Will Pickett back in the side for South Australia as well, and Benji Muxlow first time in the green and gold. So another good contingent of SA boys. Obviously, Fussy's in there as well. Any surprises that you thought from that team?
Oh, I mean, not really. I think everyone had, everyone worked as hard as each other, and as who's that number 2, Mitch?
Mitchell Baker, the co-captain.
Mitch Baker, yeah. His old man was one of my coaches back in the 2014 team for a while. He's got the Canadian presence, I hear. So, Mr. Chris, if you're watching your lad play, that was a nice move, but I hope he didn't learn it from you.
And there we go. As I said, just coming around the post there wasn't a great deal of defence, and just found Jimmy not on his post there, and it's and basically just put it top right, and pretty easy goal. Victoria go out to a 3-2 lead as they get the lead back now. We've got Mathwood in the face-off here, and Victoria winning the face-off again, and that is a good hit. You know what? That's a really good hit there. That's a big play. Yeah, look, Victoria basically had that, and a great bit of body work there by Mathman. Just made him earn it, and SA bring the ball into attack at 3-2, and it's certainly SA have in that first quarter were very rushed in their offense. They came down and they were trying to throw the ball away, and obviously some nerves have a little bit to do with that, but they look like they're in the mode at the moment, and again, great. You know what? There's probably a good reward for that body in the middle there. He's made the ball SAs, and he's come around the corner, and I'm going to say the outside shots at the moment have been troubling Blake Watson in the cage. That's the third one you would relatively say was from an outside shot, at least outside the first girls fan there. So, I reckon if I was SA, I'd be starting to ping him. So we've got Dougie Brooks here against Jackson Marsh. Jackson Marsh hasn't lost a face-off yet. So and I think Victoria as a whole, they've basically been good for all of them, apart from that last one, which turned over. Oh, there we go, Dougie Brooks, great face-off, and now he uses his motors and certainly giving him some space. Oh, the outside, great little hold. He's got 3. There's got to be loose people here. Dougie, great hold there. And a great face-off, and SA win their first clean face-off as SA just settle it here up to Rigney. To Giannis, who has plenty of pace in his legs as well. Just going to sub here. Dougie Brooks has done his job. And Arlen Lim steps onto the ground. And SA's just a little bit of holding in the middle there. But he's just been warned. Victorian shorty, just holding young Cody Rosenthal. Ball's down. Eric Rigney, he's been a really good young lacrosse player coming through the ranks at West Torrens. And I believe he's only the second Aboriginal player to be a captain of. That did look good in the top corner there. Referees have said that's hit the post, but
best referees in the game there, Don Lovett. He's right on the line. He knows exactly how it's done. I'm sure he would have had a good eye.
Yeah, from our angle though, it did look like it popped the left corner, but obviously off the bar and out it goes, and in a much better position than we are, sitting here having a tailgate party. Nice little clear there by Victoria, and Victoria bring it in, and they've set up a fasty here. No, just pulling out at the last minute, Baker. And we have a timeout on Victoria. Victorian coach Clinton Lander just asking whether or not there was a cross check in the back there as he cleared that, but referees didn't see it, didn't call it. So Victoria will have a timeout here, and they'll settle into their offense, and they'll come back with the score 3-3. South Australia, Victoria, on a beautiful day down here at Glenelg. Must be about 23, 24 degrees, and the field is looking immaculate. You must be enjoying training on this at the moment, doing all that running.
Yeah, the running happens. Let's put it that way. The ground's probably got nothing to do with it, but no, the grounds do look pretty good at the moment. Superbly marked as well, might I add. And
a win at the old Mad March tournament last week. Glenelg took that out in the final against North Adelaide. It was good to see. North Adelaide back in the competition. And how did you see them? Although it's a bit of a transitional game, Mad March. How did you see those guys coming back in the comp?
Yeah, I just thought it was awesome. They've decided to put their hand up and say, yeah, we'll come back to State League. And to all their credit, they actually played really well in Mad March. I was very impressed. They got a Japanese guy in the face-off. He's not bad. He's got a good right-handed shot. Got a couple good left-handers in that team. Strong goalie, strong defenders. So I think they'll definitely hold their own in State League this year, especially if you can include maybe a couple of Americans in there. And I certainly think they'll give a lot of teams a run for their money.
Yeah, especially with Ryan Gaspari going back from East Torrens to his home club North Adelaide, and I believe Chippy is going back to North Adelaide as well in the cage from Brighton, potentially. So if they pick up Chippy in the cage and pick up Ryan Gaspari with those players you were talking about, I think, they're going to be very strong. And obviously under the leadership of Scotty Morris, who's been around a long time and has some good structures. So, we wish North Adelaide all the best for being back in the State League. They've been quite competitive at that Div 1 level over the last couple of years, and good to see them back treading the boards in State League this year. As Victoria have the ball here, not doing much with it at the moment, just holding up. So Sunderland with the ball, kicks it down to Nicholas, just over-committing there. And
he took the double team and lost it, but manages to pick up the loose change and put it in the goal for Victoria's fourth, I think.
Yeah, Angus Cook just behind the cage there, just over-committed on his player there and tried to steal the ball. Got behind him and obviously took it, but you know what? Got into some trouble in the middle. Ball went down, managed to pick it back up again, and a beautiful little finish and a good stick handler on the left there by the look of it. So Victoria get back the lead here at 4-3. Strudwick on the wing here against Rubens. We've got Marikovic in the face-off against McDonald, and McDonald wins that one. Just kicks it down to Rubens, and Rubens is just finding space here as Victoria send a couple of substitutes, and just holding it up that little bit here. So kicks it down to Nicholas, who kicks it down to Pagliaro. I hope I'm saying that name right. I'll call him Joseph from now on. Kicking it up to Hannah Roberts. Back to the goal scorer, Baker. Up to Rubens. And not much off-ball movement here at the moment. Pretty well some flat feet. Victoria have been cutting really well from those top cutters. Sending those top cutters. That's a great opening. Great opening.
From here, I'm not entirely sure they might have picked that one up, but could have been wrong.
Yeah, no, I'd probably agree there.
I think they were pushing out, not a lot, but they were sort of caught flat-footed, the SA defenders, and I guess that sort of pick on the crease that kind of caught them off guard a little bit. Didn't look questionably moving though. Maybe obviously we're sitting here commentating, easy for us to make that call. Wouldn't mind seeing a replay. Yeah,
as I said, the old footy one where they just get off the ball and knock them over. And
we can't look at a big screen.
We can't look at the big screen. But you know what? The only thing that it'll say is that Victoria scored another goal and they will go to a 5-3 lead. So we got Brooks here against Marsh. And ground balls, just Dougie Brooks does come up with the ground ball there. And Dougie Brooks has got some legs here. He's, although he might just want to hold that up. Here we go, Giannis, just missing the body there, and still chasing. He's still chasing. He get him over the line, and there we go. And Victoria made hard work out of that, clearing that. But a great job there by Sammy, just to clear that with a long stick. Puts it back into the Victorian offence's hands, and he says, "Now I've done my work. How about you boys go about scoring and rewarding me for all those effort?" So, to Baker, to Harari, co-captains there. To Joseph, yeah, they always send this double cutter at the moment, and coming off that, and someone needs to help there.
A lot of talk by the SA defence. They should be able to hear them from here. We're just a little bit slow to get upfield there.
Yeah, Zach Clothier just letting his attacker come go side of him there, and once he was past him, he had to didn't have much. So yeah, we need to get that in because that's hit the bar as it pings off. It's giving him a lot of space on the inside there, and there was no slide or help from the SA defence, and very lucky to get away with that one, I think.
Yeah, the backhand shot just hitting the pipe, I think, and they recover the ball, so they go all right. They dodge again on the bottom corner. Doesn't seem to be too much happening there, so they pull it out. Griffin Nicholas, maybe, number 9, I think. Is that Finn Lane? Finn Lane? Oh, they look similar.
They do look similar,
yeah.
Don't they? They're very, very similar.
5, is he? Might have checked out for a minute. Oh, he is too.
As Rubens takes it up the top, gets past way too easily past Giannis there, and allows him to free the hands. And Victoria again have backup, so getting plenty of offense here. Victoria, SA just need to shut this down. Finn Lane with the ball, kicks it up to Rubens, and Rubens looking at this. He got past Giannis last time, so he says, "I think I might have another crack here." And again, allowing him to free his hands, just defensively, not holding the man up enough to at least not let him free the hands then. And James Burgess from the outside just didn't see that one. And as Coach Mangan calls a timeout after that goal, and we've got a Victoria here currently at about probably 2/3 of the way through this second quarter at a 6-3 lead after that last score. So let's see if South Australia, after this timeout, can regroup and come back and win the face-off, and let's see if they can get back into attack and put some scoreboard pressure back on Victoria at the moment, because Victoria have had probably, I'd say, 70 or 80% of the offense in this quarter, although South Australia have scored a couple of goals. So Victoria just skipping out to a 6-3 lead. So what are you looking forward to, Luke, most about your second Australian side? Obviously, the first one would have been a bit daunting, as we saw. I mean, they're all daunting, but having been there now, and you've got that cap under your belt. What do you think from 14 that you're going to do differently in 18 for yourself?
Yeah, I think it's probably just one of those old cliches of learning from mistakes in the past and trying to be better over the last sort of 4 years. I didn't play a lot in Denver, being quite young in the side, and hopefully this time I've taken on a bit of a different role in midfield. So hopefully it's a little bit more time, and hopefully can get a couple of goals and a couple of assists and just contribute as much as I can, as any teammate would want. So as we see, who's this Hamish Mathman go?
Yeah, Hamish Mathman against McDonald here, and McDonald is getting the ball in his stick. Good pick up there from the long stick, Brock Gourlay.
I'm just going to check out because I'm going to get cooked by this son of the.
All right, yeah, we don't want Lukey's Israeli tan to be done just yet. Wait for the beaches in Israel. We thank Luke Kesey for popping in and having a chat as Victoria bring the ball into attack once again. 6-3 up. Victoria sending lots of cutters here. Normally a double cutter from the top. As kicks down to Baker. Baker to Sunderland. Sunderland up to Hannah Roberts, who kicks it to Joseph. Back down to Sunderland. To Baker, just looking at opening up the side here. Kicking it up to co-captain Harari. Back to Baker. Cutters coming from the side here. I think there's a drive coming around this right-hand post. And great little check there. Excellent check from the defender in Angus Cook. We've called, and unfortunately, SA got the ball to keeper Burgess, but has been called for in and out. So Victoria will take the ball at the bottom corner here. Okay, kicks it up to Kukuka. To Hannah Roberts. Down to Sunderland. Back to Baker. Cutter's coming here. Left-hand side. Just coming off that screen again. Letting him get upside. And Baker again. Just rolling around that pick. They really need to shut that down. It's been 3 or 4 scores coming around those bottom corners where the defender hasn't held up, and a few calls for from the sidelines over there, just calling for maybe a moving pick, but nothing to have. And Baker just getting on the scoreboard again, putting Victoria up 7-3. So back in the face-off here. We've got an illegal procedure there from Jackson Marsh, and we will SA will take that face-off quite easily. Brooks didn't have to go down that time to win it, and we have another timeout here from South Australia as they go into offence. Might have been assistant coach Fuss there calling that one. Just having a look at the offence. Maybe there's not a lot of time to go in this second quarter, so maybe just trying to set something up for one last attack before the halftime break at 7-3 down. And we'll see what Coach Fuss has to offer here. Mark, Coach Mangan and Royce just having a chat to the defence about probably protecting that bottom corner and not allowing them to come around as easily as Baker has done. And they'll be looking at certainly either, keeping with that player and not letting him come off the pick, or making that swap early and not allowing him to come top side of him and then subsequently opening the hands, because it's going to make it very difficult for goalie James Burgess if they keep coming off those picks at that 5 to 6 metre mark and pinging shots. So timeout has expired, and we'll see what SA bring out here. So, in offence here, we have Rowe, Wood, Rankovic, Rosenthal, Hamish Mathwan, and Rigney. So Victoria have come out and they're pushing the guys here. They're really trying to unsettle. They've a lot of space behind them. Nice look in, and that could have been a flag there. Flag called. Dylan Wood just doing what he does best and putting the hands down low, and another outside shot there. Draws a 1 minute flag for a slash, I believe, and goal will count. So is called before the goal. So it will be a face-off to start proceedings here. South Australia clawing one back there at 7-4, and we got Brooks back in the middle here, and up against Jackson Marsh. Really important face-off here with the wing open this side. We got Hamish Mathman on this side by himself with a shorty. We got Harry Giannis on the other side. So just protecting that fasty just in case. But if Brooks can win this here and get it down into his offence, there's certainly a player out here that if they need to, great pick up there by Giannis, who brings it down. Great pace And unfortunately, the halftime siren is gone, but a little bit of action going into the halftime break, and Haragianis with a great pick up there, and maybe just a little bit of ascendancy with that South Australian ball from the middle, and but the quarter will end up with South Australia with the ball on their stick, and when we come back after the halftime break, South Australia will start in a man-up offence, as there's still a guy in the cage and they had possession. So we will take this halftime break here and we'll come back. As I said, just repeating the score, Victoria 7, South Australia 4, and looking forward to an intriguing second half of this South Australia-Victoria Championship medal replay from last year, with Victoria just holding the ascendancy. So we'll be back at the start of the third quarter. All right. We are back here for the start of the third quarter between South Australia and Victoria. The score hasn't changed since half-time. It's still 7-4. And we've got South Australia who will start with the ball after a penalty, 1 minute penalty by Victoria. So South Australia will start with a man-up opportunity and a fantastic opportunity at 7-4 to get an early score on the board and get a little bit of a momentum change. Kicks it down to Wood. He kicks it up to Maravik. Kicks it out to Nathaniel Rowe. Down to Hamish Mathwin. And we've got Connor Tape on the bottom corner there. Double cutter coming here. Kicking it over. Looking for that bottom corner here, I think. But stepping in, Hamish Mathwin. We've got a goalkeeper change for Victoria as Victorian defender Ethan Hausler picks up a loose ball here. So coming into the cage for Victoria is Ortley, and just kicks the ball over. We have an offside here on Victoria as he travelled the ball over, and South Australia will start the ball in the hands of Marinovic, and kicks it up and over the line he goes. South Australia are now out of man up, and we've got an even number. As South Australia just unconvincingly just not a great pass and dropped the ball, and the ball's gone out of bounds. So you got to watch those one-handed checks there too. So Dylan Wood coming through and just holding up on that one-arm slash, but he gave plenty of intent, which was great. So Victoria coming in to Baker, who's been everywhere so far, and again, Baker just doing it really easily, coming off that bottom corner, and they really need to get a match up there, South Australia, because he's. I think that's probably 3 or 4 that he's put away for Victoria out of their 8, and certainly being a match winner there at the moment, coming off that left-hand corner, and when they get that close to the goals, goalies should save about 1 out of 10, and not giving the goalkeeper there much chance coming around. Their defense has got to be a lot stronger. So on the wing here, we've got Shea Moat against Harry Giannis. In the face-off for Victoria, Will McDonald coming up against Dougie Brooks, and Dougie Brooks has done exceptionally well. On the other side, we've got Mitch Lewis with the longie on the wing against Alexander Rubens, and working the ball out here. And the ball's loose. It's come out the back. Great pick up there from Harry. And Harry's just sent the Victorian defenders back into their offense, which was a great little play. But I don't think Harry knew exactly. And again, South Australia really have to hold and honour the ball here. They come into this offense and they want to throw the first pass that's coming across the field. And in that first quarter, especially down this end, they did the same thing and really did, But we got Mathwin here, who scored before on that bottom corner. And just looking again at coming through, we got Harry Giannis, who's got a fair bit of pace, lines up against McDonald, and a save that goes past. I don't know whether the keeper actually got a stick on that, but South Australia with the backup there. And with the ball. Kicking it up really needs to James Burgess needs to come out of the cage there and offer some assistance to Zach, and they've set up a right-hand side here. So looking at probably driving this right-hand side, Zach Clothier just sneaking down the back, and that's all right, but we'll give that up, and that's good. Now the overlap should happen, or overlap did happen. Struddy just coming into the middle but not offering any assistance, and Dougie Brooks just coming down. Got Mitch Fuss coming through the middle here. He hasn't been found yet. Now he has. Dougie Brooks. Oh, again, South Australia. Run it to X. Haven't found that first pass, and all of a sudden we're playing transition ball. So I think Coach Mangan and the coaching staff of South Australia will be looking at that and just their structure. And now we've got a fast man break here from Victoria. They're kicking it down, looking, and then we got an open there. And that's just all a little too easy. I don't know what the South Australian defenders were doing then when they've left their players to commit to that. But we have a relatively easy fast man break goal out of nothing, and Joseph Pagliaro with the score there, just sitting in front of the cage, and again making the South Australia keeper James Burgess not much of a chance there when you're one-on-one with a keeper like that with no pressure. So we've got Hamish in the face-off here as the score just blossoms out to 9-4 to Victoria. Hamish Mathman in here against Jackson Marsh. Jackson Marsh has been doing exceptionally well in the face-off. Brankovic out this side against Shea Moat with a long. Shea Moat with a great pick up there through the thing, and just holds it up, substitutes in, and Victoria will bring the ball back into attack now. So Liam Harari with the ball, just kicked it down to Baker. Baker kicking it down to Harari, who's just taken on 2 men here, and got in far too easily there. South Australian defence need to, South Australia probably need a timeout here to have a chat to their defence. That is far too easy for a defence to allow one guy to run through 3 or 4 people and not lay anybody or stick on. And again, Victoria did that quite easily, and South Australia really have to tighten up here. Otherwise, this could blow out very quickly in defence. So defensively, need to just have a bit of a look at what we're doing. And but back to a face-off. 10-4 being the score. Giannis on the wing here against Goulet, and then we've got Brooks against McDonald in the centre, and plenty of work there. McDonald with the ball, just holding the ball, and SA really need a ground ball. Great ground ball. Harry's going the wrong way, but he's done that before. He sent the Victorian defenders that way last time, and it worked. So he thought he'd give it another go. But you know what? Other than that, that was a great ground ball in a lot of pressure, and Giannis is doing really well with those ground balls. That's his 2nd or 3rd now out of that centre draw, and he's put South Australia in there. South Australia need to get their legs moving here. Rigney coming around the back, just running into a double, and nice little shot on there as he took the hit, just going to the right of the cage. South Australia with a backup, so good to see some attacking offence there by Eric Rigney. Had the pace on the 2 defenders, took the body, knocked them both over, and managed to get a shot away. Giannis is coming off there, thinking that his shot's all right. Great little save there to the key. I think there's a flag down there. We have a flag on Victoria for an illegal body, and South Australia will take the ball here in a man-up situation. So just after that shot went, there was an illegal body which put the South Australian player into the circle. The referee's picking that up. South Australia really on this man up need to score here. They need to just start to etch this back, and we've got 5-man zone here for Victoria. So let's see how they hold up the South Australian man up. South Australian man up at the moment hasn't troubled the scorer. And the movement there at the moment is the cutter coming through for the double, kicking it around. I gather they're looking in this bottom corner at the bottom corner, but the bottom corner's not stepping in. And with the different keeper in at the moment, we need to. Oh, that's a terrible pass. That is a terrible pass on a man-up situation across the top. But they've drawn another flag here as Victoria knock it down, and South Australia just need to settle here. The ball from behind, which was looking at a man that wasn't really there in the centre. South Australia lucky not to be running the other way into defence here. So we've got a 4 zone and as they come in, and Dylan Wood just having a shot there. Wasn't too far away. Keeper followed it well. Victoria back into a 5-man zone as that one man has been released. Rigney with the ball here. And South Australia really need to make this man up work here. I don't know that they're all on the same page with what they're doing. But there's certainly movement. And while the keeper who played the first half of Victoria, in Blake Watson, was being beaten from the outside, this keeper looks like he is following the ball pretty well, Merrick. Autry, and that's a better look. Good backup, and a shot there by Rigney. Just again, not on the 6x6, just going wide, but an opportunity nevertheless. And there he is, opened up in the middle. Oh, did open up in the middle there. SA just didn't look, and another shot with not a lot of pressure on there. Connor Tate taking that one on the left, and as Victoria finished their man up, South Australia not able to capitalise on there. Dylan Wood looking, and Dylan Wood again with his customary I'm going low, 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 or low mid. Puts another one past the off the offside hip there of the keeper, and while they couldn't do that in the man up situation, with the unsettled nature of the play coming back in from an out of bound ball, Dylan Wood seems to find some space to relieve his hands, and I think that's probably his second this quarter, and it looked very similar to the first. So South Australia come back to 10-5, and we've got Dougie Brooks in the middle again here against Jackson Marsh. Hamish Mathman on the right wing here against Joseph Pagli. No, and a nice feed there. It could have been, but you know what? Sometimes things just start going with you. And while that was an exceptional fast man break and a great face off, just the forward there didn't take the ball cleanly, and South Australia ended up within their stick. So if they can clear the ball well here, and if they need to move the ball quickly, but if they can clear the ball well here and get it back down into their offense and score another one, just puts a little bit of score back in there, which would be a 10-4. And but they really need to hit this. That's not a great pass by James, and giving it up to the long stick. He's put himself under a lot of pressure here, and Victoria capitalising on that pressure. That ball should have come out to the defender this side when he had space, which would have opened up, but tried the harder pass down the middle of the field, and like in most sports, when you put it up the middle, you sometimes open yourself up to things that like that, and Victoria capitalised on that mistake by the keeper there, and go out to an 11-5 lead just when South Australia looked like they might try and stem some momentum back. So we've got Marenkovic on the side here against Shea Moat. Shea Moat got a great ground ball the last time they were in the face-off here. Victoria again, and a great pick up there by Rubens. Again, step through two South Australian defenders there, and you know what? That was just a little bit too easy, to be honest. You know, defenders need to really hold that ball up, but luckily an errant pass there gives South Australia the ball back. And what could South Australia do with this possession? There's not much movement from the defence behind. They're allowing one guy to try and go through two. There's three South Australian defenders standing behind that, and didn't use them. And great little save there by Burgess, but unfortunately, a little bit of undiscipline there. We've seen an off-the-ball foul with the ball in our stick, and Strudwick has just slashed the Victorian player after the save. For a little bit undisciplined there, and Blue will take the ball, Victoria, in a man-up situation, and that's not what South Australia wanted after getting the ball again back. You know, they're having opportunities here to move the ball down the field, but structures at the moment just coming out of defence and that clear are you know, if you're going to let a short stick have to run the ball out all the time against two players, you know, he's going to get caught occasionally, and unfortunately South Australia did then. So there's a rotation here, looking up the top, and luckily just took his eyes off the ball. He was almost shooting then. Rubens, when he had the ball on the stick, Baker just coming around the bottom corner. Great save there by Burgess again, and Mitch Lewis taking the ball. Oh, just again putting it up, and you know, making it really difficult for the keeper here. Unfortunately, that was just an error. Going back to the keeper, keeper's wasn't coming out to it, and ball turned over again, or another simple turnover, and a lot of offensive pressure being applied to the South Australian defence at the moment. And again, another unforced error, which opened up the Victorian team to score. So, but South Australia's certainly not out of this. It's 12-5 now, and we're about probably 5 minutes to go in this third. Dougie Brooks here against Jackson Marsh. Jackson Marsh has won the last couple. Mathman on this wing with Brock Gourlay, and we've got a great face off there. He's a great face off. Last time Brooks came out of here, he scored. So, but just needs to run it to space and let it happen. Good little secondary there from Dylan Wood, and up to Mathman, and South Australia just starting to set this up. A little bit of pressure applied from Mathman there. Brooks down the back, gives it up to Rowe, to Rigney, and Rigney has some motors on him when he's allowed to run. He has some Rowe. Cody Rosenthal with the ball, running into two, gives it up to Dylan Wood in the centre. Oh, great little pickup there, and a great little finish. That was a great pickup from Nathaniel Rowe there. I don't think he knew he had it. The defenders certainly didn't know he had it, and went straight into his stick. When he realised he did have it, he was on the goalkeeper, and little one just passed the feet, and a fantastic play there by South Australia. Great out of the centre. As I said, Dylan Wood just picking up the scraps from Dougie that he just lost it, but certainly worked, and a fantastic finish and pick up there from Nathaniel Rowe, and that's how quickly games can turn. So if Brooks can get the face off here against McDonald and bring it into another attack, then they might just try and create that little bit of momentum before the 3/4 time break. So Brooks again, but that time McDonald wins. He's got Mathwan chasing him, sends him in. Fast man break here again, and executed pretty well textbook there from Victoria, and Joel Kukuka has been on the end of that great work from the face-off player McDonald with a pretty simple movement, and finishes that one quite simply. And where South Australia just managed to score one back and get some momentum, we now have Victoria just scoring within 30 seconds of that goal, and just to etch that momentum back. So McDonald in the face-off here against Brooks again, and it's gone 1-1 here. So we'll see whether McDonald or Brooks can win this face-off. McDonald has the ball in the back of his stick, and again won that quite easily. So he'll bring Victoria into attack, as Victoria sends some subs with Moat and McDonald just coming off, and coming onto the field here. We have Sunderland and Olver. So Victoria into their offense, and they've certainly spread the field, looking at driving on the shorty up here, allowing the shorty plenty of room there to open up his hands, have good backup. And there's 30 seconds. The call was on the coach's box, so we've got 30 seconds. He's going to have another go here. Rubens stepping out, and a great little knockdown off the stick. James picks the ball up. Probably less than 10 seconds to go here. So South Australia, if they were to just hold it here and not have anyone come to them, will run the timeout just as we speak. And that quarter was Victoria's, unfortunately, to be seen there. 13-5 is the score, and Victoria just etched that score out further than it was at halftime at the 7-3, and mainly due to a couple of really bad unforced errors by the defence of South Australia, which allowed a couple of really simple goals. And as I said earlier, if South Australia can tighten up their defence, which they'll have to do as the week goes on, it'll be good to see them fight out this last quarter. And as I said, it's never over till she starts singing. But they really do need to tighten up in their defence, and they need to get the ball out of the face-off. Victoria's probably had 80% of the face-off so far, and the last quarter coming into it. We'll see where the headspace of South Australia is with their whether their heads come out up or down. And Victoria certainly will be looking at not putting away and pushing ahead here as they form their huddle. And I would expect Victoria to come out here and want to finish this game off strongly. So really some things to be seen at the start of the week here for this under-18 national tournament. And we hope to see South Australia come out with a much different attitude and into this last quarter just start to really get some pride back in that defensive end. All right, so 13-6 is the score here as we start or about to start the fourth quarter between this first championship game between South Australia and Victoria. We have Brooks against McDonald, and McDonald has won the last couple of face-offs quite easily against Brooks here, but still persisting, and both are down. Certainly creating a contest here, and Victoria picking the ball up with Baker as it rolls over the line, and possession is called. Victoria just substituting here, and they will start the ball with Will Olver coming in, kicking it to Lane. Kicking it down to Pagliaro, and this is where they've been able to get up top side of defenders and just run them into the cage. So an inherent pass just dropped there as Lane picks up the ball, looking at driving on Brooks. Again, just lost the ball himself. Then Mitch Lewis, there's two on one here. Victoria with numbers on the ball, picking up a loose ball, and there's a flag being called here for, as I stand right behind Baker shooting that one, just had no defensive pressure on him at all, and he's hit the top left hand over Burgess's shoulder for another score, and unfortunately South Australia will go into a man down situation as well, I believe, for maybe an unsportsmanlike. And as the score goes out, as we've got a timeout called here, score being 14-6 for Victoria. And just a score check on the game happening on the other field. We've got WA 13 against Victoria 6 in the other game being played, which is just finished over there. So WA running out winners in the girls, and comfortable winners like that. We not sure on some of the other scores from earlier today, but as I said, WA girls certainly coming out victors on the field too against Victoria. So that'll set up that sets up their week with a good win there. Not sure how they went earlier this morning. A timeout called here, and I wonder what Coach Mangan is saying to his troops here. Certainly looking at not wanting to get blown away here, and so Mango will be having plenty of words to say to the team about what structures he wishes to implement for the next 18 or 17 minutes here. Again, South Australia starting as a man down as Angus Cook with that unsportsmanlike penalty there for the 1 minute, which certainly puts under pressure. Mitch Lewis on the wing here against Rubens, with McDonald and Mathwin in the face-off, and Lane running the wing on the other side as an open lane, and McDonald winning the ball quite easily there as Kukuka comes onto the field, and South Australia will be in a man-down situation. and we get to see another look at the Victorian 3-3 as they start this man up. And last time the Victorians sent the centre player out on the top here, and he moseyed out the back. But this time they've got a cutter coming in with one going out the back. Just looking at that wheel at the moment. Looking at the wheel, there's a double wheel here. Baker coming through, and they've opened up the left-hand side. Defense ball watching there from South Australia. Opened up the left-hand side, and Griffin Nicholas just sitting on that left-hand corner. Really easy, no defense. Defense literally just looking a bit of a shambles here at the moment. They really need to find their mojo as a group and start to work together because although that was a man down situation, the rotation didn't really need to go and just left it open on the left hand side there for Nicholas to score. So Mitch Lewis again on this wing against Rubens. We've got Doug Brooks against McDonald in the middle, and Giannis coming off the other wing against Shea Moat, and McDonald again, who's had a pretty decent game in the face-off. I think he's won just about every ball that he's touched so far, and Victoria, if they get first use out of the centre like that, they'll be hard to stop this week, given what we've seen from that centre and given what we've seen from their offensive presence. So. Just holding the ball up here as Victoria gets set. Over just taking up the top against Giannis. Giannis letting him get past too easily. There's no second slide coming there from South Australia, and that was a great save by Burgess, who just happens to be in the right position at the right time. But there was no secondary defense there, which allowed defense, and Dougie Brooks looking in the middle. There's a guy on the middle. We might see a flag there for the slash on top of the shoulder. I'd give it back to Brooks and just drop the hands there. A slash right in front of us here as Brooks cleared that ball, just caught one on the shoulder. So South Australia will go into a man-up situation. And South Australia would be looking at getting some respect back here and getting another score on the board. Score currently sitting Victoria's away at 15-6, and it's blowing out a little bit in Victoria's favour. But let's see what South Australia can do with this man-up opportunity. Kicks it onto Wood, down to Rowe, and Rowe with that good goal before before the three-quarter break. Kicks it over, and but passes like that aren't going to help your cause in a man-up situation because that just takes all the momentum out of the sails. And South Australia need to be better with the ball here. That's kind of Tate just unfortunately putting it at the feet. And he's dropped that ball, and that's really needs to chase that down now. Really needs to put pressure on the defender. No flag, no fouls, but really needs to go and needs to go now. He does. He's just unforced error again there, which puts South Australia South Australia defence under a massive amount of pressure. And they only have three longies out there at the moment. So while the defensive didn't get a chance to sub, it's there. So the results so far, as we were talking about the girls there before, the results so far today, the girls SA earlier today, girls lost to Ricardo as another goal is scored there by Victoria, and it's starting to open up here. Pagliaro, just that one on the left-hand side. So, yeah, just repeating the score here is 16-6, Victoria, South Australia. But, so the other results today so far. The SA girls lost to Waikato 6-4. Waikato starting their tournament off with a win there against SA. SA then played the other New Zealand side, Auckland, and ended up winning 18-5. And obviously, as we said then, WA defeated Victoria in that last game on field 2, 13-6. And in the boys, WA played Taiwan early today and ended up winning 11-6. And then WA took on New Zealand, and New Zealand unfortunately went down to WA in the second game, and WA defeated New Zealand 18-3. So that's a bit of a score update for the games that have happened here today. If you happen to tune in to our live feed, okay. So Victoria with the ball here, out of the centre again. 16-6 up. Baker pops himself to the top and drags the longie up to the top. And got a couple of shorties working down the back here. As he kicks it up to Baker. Baker likes the look of this, I think, as he comes off Cook. The double's there. Nice inside roll. Great feed. Just didn't quite have it, but really, really good. Really good look inside there. And Burgess still in the thing, just gives the long bomb. And can South Australia pick the ball up here? That might be a loose ball push there, but didn't see that. That was from behind. Just maybe didn't pick that one up, that loose ball push to the back there. It was a cross check to the head, but nothing called there. And they've stopped the game to just make sure that player's okay as he hit the ground. Just missed that one there, but South Australia will take the ball here, and as Rigney comes off a little bit rattled there from that high cross check. Marenkovic just doesn't want to show it there. He's got a man opening up here. And South Australia just need to move their feet more in offence here. A bit flat-footed, and they're relying on these one-on-one drives to actually open something up. There's no Victorians were cutting from the tops, and it's these one-on-one drives. But the Victorian defence is shutting that down every time they drive, and not allowing them to come in. So South Australia really need to work as a team here, work off the ball, and a great shot there. Coming off that back corner, Mathewin put one in there earlier, but this goalkeeper has stood up really well in this last half. Need to chase him out. Need to push. Need to put pressure on here. And we've got Victoria just clearing it over the line again quite easily, and looking, and that's a great little pass for a little feed on the bottom corner, and Victoria doing that really, and drawing a foul, I believe, after the goal there. So Victoria may start with the ball here again, with Sunderland scoring with an easy pass from an assist from Kukaka, I think, here. And I don't know whether that foul was after the goal or before the goal. No, saying that the foul occurred before the goal, not after it. So in a face-off situation, we've got McDonald here against Brooks. And we've got Lewis on the wing here against Harari. And the loose man over is Pagliaro on the Victorian and the bench side. So McDonald hasn't lost a face-off to date, in my knowledge so far. So let's hope Brooks can hold him up here and just make him have to work the ball out. And there, great job there. Great job from Dougie Brooks in a man-down situation. And just waited for that ball to pop its head up. South Australia really need to find a ball carrier here and just work this to a bottom corner. They need to get up. They need to get away from the top of the field here and get down. Oh, there we go. So this could actually open up for a fast man break here. Dylan with the ball. South Australia really want to just make sure this penalty is cleared before they start to go. Maybe get it down to a back corner here so they can get this time clearing. So just take it down to the back corner, hold it down there, let the shorty put a bit of pressure on. But if he overcommits here, okay, now it's time. You've taken the man, you've taken the time to pull it out now. And here we go. South Australia back with 6 men on now as Fuss comes back into the cage. A nice little inside roll from Harry, running into a lot of trouble there, and has drawn another flag. So Harry, it's time to walk away from that one and take the penalty. And South Australia will be back into a man-up situation, and probably a really good opportunity for South Australia to pull some subs there, as they bring their man-up team on. So we've got Cody Rosenthal. We've got Marinkovic. We've got Wood. We've got Rove. And behind the cage there is Mathman. And out this side, we've got Connor Tape on the left. So got to moving the ball. Need to move the ball quickly here to try and get the defence. And a goal here would be a relief for South Australia and this man up. But the man up just while they're rotating, it's just they're just walking through some motions here, and where again Victoria rotating really well in that man up, and just lines up and probably had an opportunity to take a few more steps then to get that over and onto the ground. South Australia with the backup though, so that's a shot, and still in a man up situation. Woods hit 2 of those today. Sorry. That time he hit the keeper, and Victoria will clear it, and South Australia really need to ride here. Victoria is still in a man down. No, they've just been cleared now. But Victoria coming across the centre there, and they've done that quite easily, taking that over, and South Australia just making sure they were clear in their offence before they went offside. Victoria with the ball again, and South Australia having a little bit of ball in the offence then, but didn't trouble the scorer. And while Victoria have been finding those open men right near the cage, and again South Australia, good save there by Burgess. South Australia are just peppering shots from that 5 to 8 metre mark. Great pick up there by Strudwick, and needs to have help. Needs to have help there. Fantastic work. Oh, great pick up by Rigney. There's men on in the middle here, if they can see them. And unfortunately, Jono's just dropped that and needs to put the pressure on. Put the pressure here. Yep. Needs to put pressure. Needs to put the pressure. Yep. And Victoria again just find a way to get through. They've got a man open on the right-hand side there, and that just happened again a little bit too easily with Jasper Hannah-Roberts getting on the end of that good work by Victoria and putting another one away. So South Australia need to, I think, regroup tonight. As I said, their defence at the moment is just getting torn apart by Victoria, and to be honest, the riding pressure of the South Australian forwards, they look tired at the moment, and Victoria are sort of walking through here and creating a lot of man-up goals. So, Dougie Brooks back in the centre here, and be good for him to rip this face-off out. He did a great job in the last one. He's up against Leon Harari now, who hasn't taken a face-off today, and Brooks, and a great pick-up there by Harari, the co-captain of Victoria, again. And I might be doing a stick check on that if I was South Australia. I might call a stick check on that one, because that one held really well through numerous amounts of really good checks. And at the start of the tournament, you get a free one. I might actually have a look at that one, I think. But if that's not illegal, he certainly held that exceptionally well through those checks. But I might, if I was Coach Mangan, I might have used one up there just to set the tone for the rest of the week. Some people wouldn't, but I would certainly ask the question of that one. Anyway, coaching staff have decided not to, and that brings Victoria out to a 19-6 lead. South Australia not troubling the scorers at the moment this quarter. So we've got Brooks against Harari again. And while Brooks held Harari up really well, then Harari got a great ground ball and managed to really get there. Great work by Brooks, and really Jono's Marinkovic just picked that up. His forwards need to work with him here. They really need to work with him. There's no one presenting for him, and they really need to find space here, making men just work by themselves. Finally, there, Rigney actually comes to the ball, but nearly the turnover out of bounds. But South Australia really need to work for each other here. They're watching, they're ball watching their opposition players, and again, you know what? We're sitting here with a shot really with 3 Victorian defenders. not even allowing it to get to the keeper there. And Victorian long stick took that one in the helmet, and if they, they really need to work for their goals here, because this is too easy. They really, as a South Australian side with some pride on the line here, with the Victoria playing against the Victorian team, to let the defence run a ball out like that with no offensive pressure to stop them is something that really needs to be looked at. Victoria, I believe, taking a timeout here just to reassess. Not sure exactly how long in the game to go here is, but score check. Mark Mangan quite animated there, as I'm sure Mango would not be happy with what he's seen so far with the offensive pressure in the way they're clearing, nor the chasing. No one's laying anything close to a body to bring it out, and no one's actually laying any stick on. So Victoria literally just acting a bit like Noah at the moment. They're sort of parting the seas and just allowing them to walk through. Victoria very dominant at the moment, as the score suggests, at 19-6, and I'm sure Victoria will be looking at putting the foot on the gas here, and just they won't let up, because Victorian sides, as we know, against South Australian sides, has never let up. And but it looks like Victoria are going to run out comfortable winners here with 19-6 the scoreline. So let's see if South Australia can snuff one here. Let's see if they can take a little bit of defensive momentum into the next game, snuff this one out, and maybe even get one back, snuff out the defense. But at the moment, there's no one sitting on. I think South Australia have only got 5 men on the field. Are they in a man down situation here? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, no, South Australia starting that time out with only 5 men on the field, and they were lucky to get away with that, because there was a Victorian player sitting open on the crease with not a man on him, and they hadn't worked out that there was only 5 players on the field. Victoria with the backup, shot had, and just pulling it out now. A big drive, and again, South Australia just allowing Victoria to let their hands free. There's no defensive pressure on those shots by either long sticks or short sticks chasing them. They're getting past them. They're freeing their hands, and they're able to put the ball in the back of the net at will at the moment. As we had a goalkeeper change, and it's probably unfair of Jaden Taylor in the cage at the moment to come in this situation with being really cold and coming in with a barrage like that with no defensive pressure in front of you. I'm sure as a goalkeeper certainly wouldn't be happy with the defense letting those easy ones in. Anyway, Victoria out to 20-6 lead. McDonald in the middle. And again, another great job by Brooks. Great job by Haragianis there. Oh, that's a hold. That has to be a hold. No, he's called that no hold. Anyway, I would have thought that in the game of lacrosse right now that would probably be a hold, but not picked up. Ball's been hacked loose, and we've got there's an absolute overlap here, and it's just far too easy for Victoria to run this ball out. There is no defensive, offensive pressure at all. The forwards are all looking around going, we don't know what's going on here. And South Australia, they really need to tighten these up for the games ahead for the rest of the week, because they're very. And again, another shot there by Victoria down bottom left hand side, and Liam Harari again, who's really come into the game in the last half, co-captain, and puts another one away. Bottom left corner again, allowing Victoria just to open up the hands and shoot at will at the moment. So South Australia need to get their heads up here and just you know what, just to do something to get back into this game and take something into the next game. Little bit of heads high, a little bit of confidence here, and you know what, McDonald's been good in the face-offs here, but we've got Mathwin there, who has just not gone down straight by the look of it. And Victoria will take another easy ball out. And, you know, a good turnover here would do no end for South Australia, because at the moment Victoria are dominating this game. And again, you know, bottom corner, I don't. The defenders for South Australia are all looking around, going, "Whose man is that? Whose man is that?" And unfortunately, there's a really easy, again, goal right on the keeper, coming around the backside, and you know, it is blowing out at ease at the moment here, and hopefully South Australia can go back tonight, regroup, and bring out a different mindset for the next games ahead. So, back to the face-off. Score is 22-6 to Victoria. And South Australia struggling to hold on to the ball, let alone get in any offensive pressure here. So, face-off, Marankovic against McDonald. And, Marankovic against Bunches, with the long stick. Long stick's coming down. Sammy's coming down. Long stick shot. Great save there. Great save by Jaden. Just putting it there. Now, if they have numbers, South Australia really need to sub hard here. But just passing the ball down through X as substitutions are made. And Nat Rowe just popping it around the back, stepping in. Just looking. Oh, need to keep our eyes on the ball, because that's another unforced turnover almost there by South Australia. But a great pickup there from Kai Selleck. And Jono Marinkovic just here takes the Victorian defences are sliding and getting in really quickly. And keeper found that on the left-hand post, let it hit his body. All right, so he's taken it back in, over and in. It looked like he stepped back in the circle there from the keeper. So South Australia, something going for them right now. And if they can get a score here, that'd be a fantastic job by the SA Red Boys. And there's a man open in the middle. You got to pass that. Oh, that is a terrible feed to a guy who was wide open in the crease. And luckily, the South Australians have had the backup there. Great backup down the back there from Hamish Mathman, I believe that was. Rigney with the ball, picks it up to Rosenthal, to Fuss, and that will be the game here in the opening game for Victoria and South Australia in the 2018 Under-18 State Championships, with Victoria running out comfortable winners at a score of 22-6. Really like to thank everyone who tuned in to this bit of a trial feed, and thanking Scotty Gill and Marty Baker on the camera and the computers who make it all work behind the scenes. But it goes for a really good, and if you've enjoyed the live feed today, make sure you're around for the rest of the week when the ALM boys get a hold of it. And I'm sure there's a lot of exciting both women's and men's games to come in this championship. So, and if the weather's anything like this today and it keeps like this for the rest of the week, we will have an outstanding championship. So, on behalf of myself, Tony Watson, I'd like to thank Luke Keesing before for stepping in. Current, again, second-time Australian player. It is goodbye from us here at the Glenelg Lacrosse Club from the Under-18 National Championships. Have a great day all. Have I got sound now?
Yeah, that's fine. Yep. All right, guys. South Australia, thank you very much for the game today. I think the way that you started the game, you really put the pressure on us and caused a lot of mistakes, a lot of fumbling. To our guys' credit, they came on strong in the second half, especially. Probably blew away with it a little bit, but I give you guys credit for your endeavour and the fact that you didn't hold back on fighting for the ground balls and things like that. So excellent game by you guys. Your MVP for today was number 7, Harry Giannis.
It's a little bit weird when you can't hear what you're actually saying. But once again, and I just want to reiterate, Clinton's, thank you very much, Victoria. You've definitely given us a lot of stuff to look back and improve on. I thought we played really well for our first half, and it was going to be a good contest. And to your credit, you just ran over us in the second half. And congratulations on that. And your MVP today is Liam Harari. Sorry, mate, I hope I got it right, but congratulations. Weird, man. But where's it coming from? No, it's over there. I know. Right.